and not put it up against any of you pretty diners.
You hitting the gay rodeo on the way?
Captain Chap.
Cal had to protect the manhunt.
Get in line, Brokeback.
Sons of Anarchy is regarded as one of the best crime series ever created, and for good reason. The series is an American action crime drama television series created by Kurt Sutter for FX. The first series premiered in 2008, and it was so successful that by its third season, it had attracted an average of 4.9 million weekly viewers. At the time, Sons of Anarchy was the highest rated series hosted by the FX network. When the fourth and fifth season premiered, they were ranked as the two highest rated telecasts in the network's history. Sons of Anarchy enjoyed a successful run, airing 7 seasons with a rumored 8th season in the works. However, the fans and viewers were disappointed as that 8th season never made it to our TV screens. So, what happened? Join us as we reveal the real reason why Sons of Anarchy ended.
Who are you?
It's time.
Sons of Anarchy was set in Charming, a fictional town in California's Central Valley. The series follows the lives of a close-knit outlaw motorcycle club, with Jax Teller, played by Charlie Hunnam, as the vice president and, subsequently, the club president. In the first season, we watched Jax Teller, the protagonist, struggle with the pressures of becoming the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club Redwood original heir. After taking over his father's role, Jax tragically lost his best friend. Teller witnessed Harry Opie Winston being beaten to death by a jail gang from a window. This is followed by the murder of his wife, Tara Knowles, by her mother-in-law. Descending into chaos, Teller is shown continually seeking vengeance, which eventually takes him down a fatal path. Jax carries out many public assassinations in an attempt to exact retribution on those who abandoned Sam Crow, attracting the attention of police enforcement. The pressures faced by Jax were made even worse when he discovered a manifesto made by his father, who was the founder and former leader of the club. These writings confirmed Jax's suspicions about the club, that it had become the opposite of what was originally envisioned by his father. Sons of Anarchy might be fictional, but this part of the story comes directly from the history of Hell's Angels. According to the producer, Kurt Sutter, Sons of Anarchy was born from how Hell's Angels went from being a fun-loving fraternity to an organized crime syndicate. Aside from the history of Hell's Angels, Sutter also took inspiration from the irony of motorcycle clubs, especially how they represent specific American values like we take care of our own, while aggressively rebelling against society. Sons of Anarchy did an excellent job capturing what some motorcycle clubs stand for. It shows the general populace how most of the clubs are all about riding free and getting rid of the establishment, while members of the club have to follow more rules and regulations than normal members of the society have to. From start to finish, Sons of Anarchy told the story of Jax Teller, his relationships, and Sam Crow. The show included themes like love, brotherhood, betrayal, and redemption. It explored vigilantism, government corruption, and racism. The entire plot of Sons of Anarchy was to depict an outlaw motorcycle club as an analogy for human transformation and to help lend some realism to the show. The producer had a real-life member of the Oakland chapter of Hell's Angels, David LaBrava, serve as the show's technical advisor and also play the character Happy Loman, Sam Crow's assassin. There are other real-life Hell's Angel members like Chuck Zito, who played Frankie Diamond, Rusty Coons, who played Quinn, and Sonny Barger, who played Lenny the Pimp Janowitz. Aside from having a real-life motorcycle club for inspiration, Sons of Anarchy got its creative framework from Shakespeare's Hamlet. However, the producer, Sutter, told Collider in an interview that the show isn't based on Hamlet like the fans like to think. It's not like they have to play on a board with plot points to follow. Hamlet was used to inform the journey of Jax Teller as a guy coming into his manhood. In simpler terms, Jax is a dude who finds himself at odds with the way his stepfather is running his birthright toward a dark direction he disagrees with. Aside from using Hamlet to inform Jax's journey, the play also serves as a total reference point for the show's pulp fiction and opera characteristics. But that's not all there is to Sons of Anarchy. There's a reason why Charlie Hunnam's portrayal of Jax Teller seems so authentic, and that's partly because the character, Jax Teller, is based on a 22-year-old heir apparent of an Oakland-based motorcycle club. To perfectly embody the role, Charlie Hunnam spent an enormous amount of time in the world of bikers, clubs, and rallies. He learned the actual biker the Jax Teller character was based on. Charlie describes the real-life Jax Teller, obviously not his real name, as an old-school outlaw, cowboy, badass gunslinger for the modern day. Charlie Hunnam delivered too well on the Jax Teller character, taking his job home with him. Charlie Hunnam got so deep in character that he struggled to leave Jax on set. Throughout his time on the show, the British actor dressed primarily in plaid and acted like a legitimate biker off-screen. In 7 years since the show aired, Charlie Hunnam never drove in a car. He was always on his bike, rolling around with a bunch of actual bikers and sometimes causing havoc. Charlie was able to embody this role so well because he grew up in an environment where he was allowed to use violence to solve a problem, but calling the cops was a no-no. Charlie grew up with a career-long criminal for a father, and the number one rule in the house was that no one called the police for any reason. That was the kind of mentality the members of Sam Crow had, so it helped him fit into the role better. Charlie Hunnam's portrayal of Jax Teller is one of the reasons why Sons of Anarchy is so loved. Away from the set, Charlie even drives a Harley Dina, the same bike Jax from the show drove. Charlie, however, attributes his choice of this specific bike to the fact that it's the best bike that Harley-Davidson makes. Charlie Hunnam was consumed by the character of Jax Teller, and he mourned just like the fans when he found out he would never be able to play that role anymore. Sons of Anarchy is FX's biggest show ever. The show gave us all a reason to escape from reality, and through the characters, we can live the fantasy of being an outlaw without being told what to do or being governed by people around us. However, just like every other good thing we've enjoyed in the past, Sons of Anarchy had to end. The 7th season of Sons of Anarchy premiered in 2013, and after many ups and downs in the club, plus various personal tragedies, we saw Jax Teller off himself in style. Jax commits suicide on the same road where his father died, capping up a moving story of corruption, violence, crime, and tragedy. Some thought it to be the perfect ending to Jax Teller's character arc in the show and saw it as a symbol of the tragic nature of the show and Jax's desire to end the Teller lineage associated with the outlaw life. However, some fans were sad to see their favorite character go and wondered why he'd offed himself. So rumors of a possible 8th season arose. The fans were hopeful all their questions would get answered, but they couldn't be more wrong. Season 8 was cancelled and the show's 7th season was dubbed as the season finale. There are a number of reasons that played a role in the cancellation of the 8th season. However, the show's producers, Kurt Sutter, came out to say that he already saw the possibility of the show ending in the 7th season, and the reason why it wasn't announced in the first place was because he didn't want to limit himself to 7 seasons. While season 8 never happened, Sutter was initially interested in working on a prequel to the show. The new series, titled First Nine, was supposed to be based on Jax Teller's father, John, one of the founding members of the Sam Crow Motorcycle Club. However, the prequel was never made due to the breakdown in Kurt Sutter's relationship with Disney, who owns FX and the Sons of Anarchy. However, instead of focusing on the dispute between himself and Disney, Sutter echoed the sentiments of many fans and defended Jax Teller's dramatic exit as a fitting conclusion to the series. Unknown to the public, Sons of Anarchy was only officially renewed until the 6th season. Sutter's 3-year deal after season 6 was the anchor to bring the story to its climax with the 7th season. Addressing the cancellation, Sutter asserted that he made the decision based on the belief that the story had reached its natural endpoint. While bidding farewell to one of the most riveting crime shows on television was undoubtedly bittersweet, Sutter's choice to conclude the series when it felt right demonstrated a commitment to preserving the integrity of the narrative rather than succumbing to the allure of prolonged popularity.